Who is the original that Lucy and Jules are copies of? Is Kira really one of the bad guys? And what is the dream that Lucy and Jules are sharing? Welcome back to the channel. This is Sean's Take. My name is Sean Redmond, and today my take is on Orphan Black Echoes, episode 4, entitled It's All Coming Back, which is a reference to the Celine Dion song, which we do get a interesting rendition of in this episode. This is your spoiler warning. From here on out, I'll assume you've seen the episode or don't care if I spoil it. I'll also use clips from the show, as is allowed under the copyright free speech provision, the copyright laws of 1976. Sort of said that, right? Let's dig in. We're going to do a little bit of a recap, and then we'll do the review. Because not a whole lot happens in this episode, but what does happen ends up being, I think, important. So we start with Lucy having regurgitated the pill that Neva wanted her to take, and she's now gathering the drugs to take back to Lucy to dream and maybe figure out what the shared dream is all about. She gets interrupted by Wes at first, and Wes does seem to be on her side, to be, a good guy. And then Neva comes in. I'm still not convinced I'm saying her name right. And wants to take Lucy out for some ice cream after force feeding her pills. Weird. So Neva goes. Jules is smart enough to understand that she is in fact being tracked. So she swaps sweatshirts with Wes, takes Wes's hat, and they swap phones. So then when Jules walks out of the building and her bodyguard, Mayunk, I think, says, "Oh, there she is." She's right, because she's looking right at her, and it's her. But then Tom says, no, here's the tracking. That's the brother. And then they convince themselves that that's Wes, because that person has the hat and sweatshirt on, and it's the phone. But Mayung was right off the bat. But anyway, elsewhere, Lucy and Jack are explaining things to Charlie, who is surprisingly or spectacularly understanding. Talk about an easygoing person, just sort of accepting all this. And that's when Jules arrives. There's a little bit of bickering, blah, blah, blah. How should we be taking it? How should we do what? They finally make a tea, I believe, is what we did. We ground it up and made a tea. And of course, Jack has to babysit Jules and Lucy, who are now a little high. Some of the scene is cute. Jules ends up having the idea to paint their dream, and they each paint the images they remember from their dream the most, and it ends up creating a collage of a bathroom that's almost complete. So they can see the window now. There's pieces from each other's that the other hadn't seen yet, which of course then comes Tina. Sorry, Tina. Tina comes in and recognizes the building outside the window of the painting of the bathroom as a recognizable place in Jamaica Plains, a neighborhood of Boston. Tina explains that it was the epicenter of lesbian and gay activity, I don't know, or the counterculture in Boston. I don't know if that's true. I did a cursory search for Jamaica Plains, and it is a real place, but it didn't have any reference to being significant to one subculture or another. So who knows? Anyway, in our story, it does, or it did. Kira goes to Darros, yeah, and confronts him on ordering the hit on Lucy. And he explains to her that as the human printing is a joint project, he is an equal partner. And that panics Kira a bit. And as she's looking for a place to have her full-blown panic attack, Emily? Is it Emily? Yeah. Emily, the security guard that works with Tom, takes Kira to the warehouse, barn, whatever it is, where they're holding Lucy's camper, where she was living. They've confiscated her camper, her trailer. So Kira gets to look through it, as I guess all of Darros' security has already done. But she does find the sketch of the little boy in the book. And it's the sketch of the boy that in the first episode, Kira gave Lucy, who couldn't remember anything, the picture to see if she remembered who was in the picture, and it was that image that she sketched. In case you missed it, she tears out that page, takes it with her. Lucy and Jules end up in Jamaica Plains, and they're looking at the spire or whatever we want to call that, the top of that building that you could see in the window in the painting. They're looking for the right angle to figure out which house it might have been drawn from. Apparently, they're really good artists because they figure it out pretty quick. I'm not even sure what's supposed to be going on at this house. It feels like it's a sorority, but if it said it was a sorority, I missed it. It's all women, and to get the key to go to the bathroom, you have to win at, you know, not pong, beer pong. Yeah, it is pong. And of course, Jules wins. So they have the key to the bathroom and they can go up, and it surely is the bathroom that shows that spire correctly. And they have a couple of flashes. They ask the girls hosting the party if anybody who owned it before, and they say it was, they ask who owned it, and they tell her, although I've watched this episode twice now, and neither time could I understand what they said. I assume they said Melissa's name, but I just can't catch it from what they said. So they track down and go see Melissa, who refers to both of them as Eleanor. Both Lucy and Jules, Melissa refers to as Eleanor. And Melissa's not all that nice. But sort of at the same times that all that's happening, Neva checks on Jules and finds out that she's missing. And in confronting Wes buckles pretty quickly. So then Neva knows to track Wes's phone to find Jules. And so the race is on. Are Jules and Lucy gonna find their information before Neva and the Darros security catch them? So we get to Melissa's house, and they play into the delusion that they are Eleanor, and Melissa's addressing them as Eleanor. They don't get a whole lot of information from Melissa, but it does seem like something bad happened before Eleanor's graduation. I'm catching that right. But Tom and Kira and everybody show up. So Jules and Lucy decide to split up. And of course, Jules runs into Neva. And surprisingly, Neva maces Tom. And then the two of them run, which is a very interesting development. And it passed very quickly in the show. It wasn't really focused on. And then Emily catches Lucy and tells her to push her. And Lucy pushes Emily. Emily falls down. Lucy runs away. And then as Mayok is chasing Lucy, stops to check on Emily. But it bought Lucy time to go, which is huge. So Emily's helping everybody. She helped Kira go see the camper. She's helping Lucy buy some time. Lucy gets out and Kira is there in her car saying, "Come with me." Lucy doesn't know if she should trust her. Kira shows her the page with the boy's sketch, with Lucy's sketch of the boy, I should say. And Lucy decides to get in the car and they begin to drive away. And the last thing we hear or see is Kira telling Lucy that she was made out of love. And that's the end of the episode. So, we're almost to the halfway point of this first season of Echoes, and I think we're doing okay. We've been laying a lot of groundwork through 3 3/4 episodes, but now it feels like a fuse has been lit, and it's all sort of going to start to detonate. I hope. I do. This show lacks some of the high-level energy conflict that the original Orphan Black had. But I think they're doing good as long as the writing holds up. So we now know the name Eleanor, and this person Melissa believed both of them to be Eleanor, her Eleanor. So perhaps Eleanor is the original from which Lucy and Jules were printed, which is interesting. That we're gaining sort of that knowledge. I have predicted that other people have been printed in this show, and I'm not backing off that yet. But if Eleanor is young enough to be what it would, I guess, be probably older than Lucy is, but still not very old. Why do we have a printing of Eleanor? What happened to Eleanor that we needed to print copies? It's an interesting question. What do you think? Certainly, if you've already seen the episode, don't tell us the answer. Don't spoil it for us. But those of us that are going through this episode by episode as it's airing on AMC, what do you think the deal's going to be with Eleanor? Because I think we're going to find out pretty quick or pretty soon. So I think Lucy's going to get a lot of answers coming up, probably in the next episode, unless they do something strange and do a flashback. I was thinking about it. We could do either a flashback to the perfecting of the printing, or maybe an origin story of some kind. Because we're right in the middle of the season, and that's when you tend to do things like that. You do sort of a standalone origin story, and then you end this. You take the last 3 episodes and end this season. So, but I'm enjoying this show. I'm glad I found it. I am going to start ARC. Check out the channel's community page. I'm going to start using that a little more to communicate some things that are coming up. I've been toying with the idea of talking about the Olympics, but I'm not sure what form that would take or how that would look. Let me know what you think, because I always enjoy the Olympics. They always last just long enough. 2 weeks is about how much I can do. So I have the ARC coming up. Let me know what else you're watching or looking forward to watching. Somebody, one of us, the TeleFosi, in the comments, asked if I had done a full season review on a different show, and I haven't. I haven't thought about that. Let me know what you think about the idea of, even though we do episode by episode reviews, to do a separate show of just a full season review, sort of a bookend to the playlist. It's an interesting idea. Thank you. But let me know if anybody else is interested in something like that. Maybe we'll start that with this season. But for now, that's it for me. I'm Sean. This is Sean's Take. See you next time.